Hi guys, I've been testing out the Throne and Liberty game for about 35 hours and reached the end game, and I have gathered information based on what the other players such as Korean players had. So basically this game has been fun in the early stages of the Korean release. It had a good amount of players. However, these players quickly uninstalled the game for two reasons according to Korean players. The first one being pay to win, and the second one being NCSoft having a bad image in Korea, which I assume is because of pay to win and other elements. So basically the Koreans ditched this game. However, we had a nice release on the West, about 300k players, which is very good for a game like this. But unfortunately it will probably end up being the same as what happened in Korea, because people will quickly realize how pay to win this game is and simply move on. So I expect this game to have about 2 months of lifespan, and if you're generous, about 6 months of lifespan before it becomes deserted. So that's a realistic take on Throne and Liberty, and the conclusion I've come to after talking to Korean players and figuring out the game for myself. The main problem is that with the way the game is designed, somebody who swipes Lucents, it's called, the in-game currency that you buy, can buy the new gear that will come out by simply swiping, because it will be dropped and then sold by other players. So people will buy the stuff instantly as soon as it releases, basically, pretty much. So people who swipe will always have the best gear, have the best mats, and will always dominate in PvP. Meanwhile, the free-to-play players will have problems gathering the new gear, because by the time they get the new gear, a better version of the gear will come out, and the swipers will have access to the best gear, while the people who have been farming to catch up will be stuck with the past best gear. So basically, this game will be a catch-up game that is not possible to do for the free-to-play players, because they will always be behind the pay-to-win players. So this issue is a problem, because as a PvP game, gear matters a lot. It will decide if you get beaten up or if you win in PvP battles. Next, the issue is that there are no PvE endgame. There's not enough PvE endgame, so mainly because this game is PvP, you cannot just say, oh, people can buy the best gear, who cares, it doesn't affect me, because you'll be forced to PvP at some point. Because the PvE is basically repeating the same dungeons over and over again, same farming over and over again. So basically you'll get tired of it after about 2 weeks or 2 months, and it will be pointless, because you always have to catch up to the pay-to-win players. Next would be this game isn't like extremely casual friendly, because endgame bosses have some mechanics that if you fail you get wiped, and people usually rage quit or something in the middle, so you waste a lot of time if you don't have a pre-made group, which is the same problem the Lost Ark had, where you fail one mechanic you get wiped, and casual players will get turned off by this. Next, the competitive players will have issues such as always being behind the pay-to-win players, so they will not feel motivated to keep grinding as soon as they realize that it's an impossible game for them to clear, because people who swipe will always be ahead of them, so there's no point farming basically. On the other hand, you cannot just swipe and never farm, you still need to have basic farm, so that should motivate swipers to actually play the game, which is nice. And now that this issue of pay to win has been addressed, I would like to review the game for what it is. So the gameplay, it doesn't feel like a PC game at all. People were calling it a mobile game, but nowadays it feels like a console MMORPG game. It's actually interesting to play with a joystick controller, so that's a good experience for console players, I guess. This game was probably made for console players, even though it had like mobile features at the start due to autoplay, which got removed, and now I wouldn't really qualify it as a PC game, but more like a console game due to how it's designed. and this is also another turn off for PC players because the game seems to be gameplay wise for a console audience. Now next, the graphics are amazing and the in-game optimization is actually nice, except one dungeon with fire that makes you lag in all max settings, so that's good. It's actually nice being able to play with a lot of people on the screen and not having 5 FPS, so kudos for that. Breathtaking graphics and an art style that is very good, reminding of Lineage 2. And yeah, that's it. Basically the gameplay is like a console game. The graphics are amazing, no problem with that. If it was Unreal Engine 5 it would be amazing. And that's it for the realistic review of Throne and Liberty. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you agree with my points or disagree with them, and it will be interesting to have a debate in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy Throne and Liberty while it lasts, because it will definitely not last much longer. So enjoy yourselves, bye.